the echo of her lullaby. The first time I heard her voice, I was sitting under a jaundiced street lamp in a quiet Lahore alley, rain dripping off the tin roofs overhead. In that moment, it was as though the world held its breath. What came through the crackling speaker in my trembling hand was not just a song, but a soul calling. That single, trembling note struck me deeper than I'd ever been struck. She was singing, not for fame, but for someone she once loved and lost. Her name was Amina. She grew up in a small town near Multan, where mango blossoms perfumed the air every spring. As a child, she sang in the courtyard at dusk, while the cicadas sang back. Her voice was soft, yet unbreakable, like the lullabies her mother used to hum to her when thunderstorms roared. Those lullabies became her anchor, but life was never kind to dreamers in her town. The demands of daily survival pressed on her family. Her father's fading eyesight, her younger brother's schooling, the constant need to stretch every rupee. Singing was a solace, not a career, until she recorded a few songs on her phone and quietly uploaded them. Her voice began to travel, from phone to phone, from village to city, crossing rivers of silence until one night it reached me. I was a music producer in Lahore, restless, chasing a success that constantly slipped through my fingers. When I heard Amina's recording, cracked, lo-fi, but rich with emotion, I knew there was something sacred in it. I traced back the file, called the number that had sent it, and reached out to her. She was hesitant at first. Pride and fear mingled in her voice. She said, "What if they don't accept me? What if I am nothing more than a whisper?" But I told her, people will hear and some will feel. Even a whisper can shake a mountain. Against her resistance, I offered her a chance. "Come to Lahore for a recording session. I will produce this song, and together we'll see where it leads." The cost would be travel, lodging, uncertainty, but she agreed because her heart had no peace otherwise. When she arrived, I met her at the train station. She stood there, hair slightly damp, suitcase modest, eyes brimming with both fear and hope. I recognized the weight she carried, the weight of expectations, of dreams deferred, of the fear that at any moment the world would deny her. We drove to the studio in heavy silence. The first day of recording was brutal. The microphone rejected her confidence. The room felt hollow and her voice cracked when she was supposed to soar. She cried, asking me to stop. I insisted we take a break. In the waiting room, I told her a story of a singer I once knew who gave up too early. I said, "The world may not always listen, but you must first listen to yourself." She wiped her tears, nodded, and we returned to the booth. Over the next days, we battled technical glitches, creative disagreements, and the haunting self-doubt in her mind. Sometimes she'd vanish from the studio altogether, walking the streets of Lahore at midnight, her tears mingling with the city's sighs. I would find her, lean my shoulder, and just listen. No words until she spoke again. "Maybe I don't belong." I responded, "You belong to your voice as much as your voice belongs to you." Bit by bit, she pushed through. We recorded line by line, verses that trembled, choruses that soared, bridges that cracked open the heart. I insisted on capturing the rawness, the stumbles, the breath in between, the emotion unedited, because I believed that in imperfection lies truth. Then came the challenge, releasing the song. We pitched it to radio stations. Many said it was too raw. We sent it to streaming platforms. Some said not marketable. At times, it felt like scaling a mountain with bare hands. Meanwhile, in her hometown, her father's eyesight worsened. Her brother's school fees loomed. There were whispers that she was wasting time chasing illusions. Amina despaired. She said she would never go back home because she would bring only shame. I told her, "You will bring them something sacred," a truth realized. We launched the song online on a small budget, with heartfelt captions and simple visuals. Amina's silhouette against mango trees, her voice carrying over dusty fields and silent nights. The song spread, slowly at first, then like wildfire. A single blogger shared it, a friend posted it. People from Lahore, Karachi, even overseas started saying, "This voice, it moves me." Comments poured in. I cried. Your voice healed me. Please sing more. Her story inspired listeners of people who had lost, who had doubted, who had dreams locked in silence. News reached her hometown. Her father, sitting beside the window, listened on his radio. He heard that faint lullaby she had once sung. He wept. Her brother in class saw her face on a screen. Her neighbors spoke. Some were proud, some skeptical. But she returned not to seek their validation, but to share what had come through struggle. At a small gathering under a banyan tree, she sang live in her village. The mango blossoms hung like smiles. The children gathered. Her voice in full bloom carried through the dusk. Her father wept openly. The villagers bowed their heads. She finished, trembling, and bowed too, uncertain. Then silence, and then thunderous applause. People asked, "How did you do it?" She said, "I listened to my fear. I sang through it. And someone, one kind soul, believed in me when I could not." I look back on that afternoon in the studio, that rain-splattered street lamp, and the moment I first heard her voice. More than talent, more than technique, what mattered was courage. The courage to share a whisper when the world demanded roars. The courage to be vulnerable when strength seemed safer. Amina went on to sing more songs. She opened a small music school in her town to teach children whose voices were silenced by doubt. She became a voice not just for herself, but for many. And though she never became a blockbuster superstar, her echo traveled farther than she ever imagined. The message I hope you hold: your voice, however fragile, however faint, is not a mistake. Share it. Let fear hear you sing. Let silence answer. Because in that sharing, you give permission for others to sing too. And sometimes all it takes is one voice to awaken 1,000 more.